Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited for today's video. It is going to be my 9th update in my makeup rehab series. So I will be recapping all of the makeup that came into my collection, all of the eyeshadow palettes that came into my collection, as well as all of the makeup that I emptied out and that will be exiting my collection throughout the month of September. This is a beauty budget, or this started as a beauty budget style of like series for me, and it's kind of morphed and changed over time. And I think next year my makeup rehab series is really just truly going to be a way of tracking makeup products in versus makeup products out. But as of this moment, I do have a beauty bank that started at 0 this year, and for every makeup empty that I have, my beauty bank goes up by 1, goes down by 1, sorry. And for every makeup product that I purchase, my beauty bank goes up. Oh, my beauty bank does go up by 1 for every makeup empty that I have, and then my beauty bank goes down by 1 for every makeup purchase that I have. So realistically, I don't mind if my makeup collection grows by a little bit, but we're really just tracking like how many makeup products are coming in versus how many makeup products am I emptying out. And I am tracking PR separately, but that's just where I have definitely been receiving more PR this year, which I'm very, very, very grateful for. And I'm also just kind of like getting into this mindset where I don't necessarily know that I want to be doing as many projects, and I kind of just want to enjoy my makeup collection as is. Maybe I don't want to have this makeup rehab challenge going on where I'm like limiting myself. I don't know, just some thoughts that I have been thinking. But today we are going to be doing everything like we normally have. So going into this update, I was at -14 in my beauty bank. I don't count eyeshadow palettes, and I only count makeup. And the reason I don't count eyeshadow palettes, I have a separate category where I track the makeup palettes coming in, but I don't count eyeshadow palettes just because that is such a heavy focus on my channel, and I just didn't want to include that. My channel, my rules kind of situation. But we went into this past month with a balance of -14, which honestly is not the worst. But that is not including all of the PR that came into my collection. I will say my most recent makeup inventory update, my numbers actually went down pretty significantly because I did do a pretty serious makeup declutter, but I don't want to be bringing makeup products in just to declutter them. I'm literally rambling at this point. If you guys are interested in seeing the makeup products that I brought into my collection, as well as the eyeshadow palettes and a couple other beauty items, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project painting content, palette themed content, or just chit-chatting about makeup, I'd love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. Alright, I will leave timestamps in the description box down below in case there's any portion of this video that you don't care to see. But we always start by going through PR. We move on to other beauty products, so any hair care, skincare, or fragrance that I brought in that I may want to share. Then we move on to eyeshadow palettes, and then we end with makeup products that I brought in, and then finally makeup empties. So we are going to start with PR, and as I said, I am so grateful for the PR that I have received this year. Still, when I get a PR package, I cannot tell you how fast my heart races. It's like a schoolgirl with a crush every time I get a PR package. So let's start with the package that I received from Merit Beauty. They sent over the Great Skin Priming Moisturizer as well as the Great Skin Instant Glow Serum. They actually also sent over another foundation stick and brush, but I shared that with my sister because I don't love their foundation. So I always love to share the love as well. So the Great Skin Priming Moisturizer is a new product that recently launched, and then alongside that they sent over another Great Skin, which I have raved about their Great Skin, and lately I've mentioned that I'm almost out of mine. And so when I received this again, I was so excited for this just because this is like a drink of water for your face in the morning. I will say the priming moisturizer I have only used, I believe, 2 or 3 times at this point. It does have a bit of a tack to it, and it is a nice moisturizer. I think if I were to choose between the two though, I definitely prefer the Great Skin Instant Glow Serum, at least as of this moment. It was Tula's 10th birthday this past month, so they have a limited edition chrome packaging 24/7 moisturizer that they sent over, and the packaging, oh my gosh, it was in this really beautiful blue box. The presentation of the entire thing was just so stunning. I love the Tula 24/7 moisture cream. I actually used up one of these in the past, and then Tula had sent over another package earlier this year, and I've been working my way through another one of these. First of all, I love the scent of it. It just has Oops, this still has the, oh, I don't want to take the lid off. It has this really beautiful, just clean scent to it. And it's just one of those moisturizers that I personally feel like works for me really well, whether it be day or nighttime. It's moisturizing enough that I like it at night to like heavily moisturize my skin, but it's not so heavy that I feel like I can't use it in the morning either. I feel like I've traveled, like this is the moisturizer I typically travel with. I seem to always have like little travel size of this, and it is such a great moisturizer for that because it's not like I'm bringing a separate moisturizer for the daytime and then a separate for the nighttime. I feel like it really is versatile in that way. So I was really excited to get another kind of restock on this, and I think the packaging is obviously gonna get kind of dirty with the fingerprints, but I also think it is so pretty. Alter Ego has a new eyeshadow palette that is launching. It is the Mist Haven palette, which I think the packaging of this is so freaking beautiful. This is a dupe to the, I believe it's the Huda Beauty Grunge eyeshadow palette. Ooh, I feel like, oh, that's right. I was like, I feel like the packaging is a little bit heavier than the last several palettes, but I forgot they went back to magnetized eyeshadows, so you can, you know, mix and match amongst your palettes. You do get a really nice mirror. I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like the way that this palette is laid out as well. It's a little bit different than the Huda Grunge in that we have the 9 matte shadows over here and then the 9 special shadows over here. And I won't lie, I almost feel like this palette looks a little bit more enticing in terms of like just everyday use. Ooh, I was thinking I might pass this one along, but now I kind of want to try it against the Huda Grunge palette. I may have to do that. Again, outer packaging is kind of giving like Twilight vibes, kind of like spooky vibes in a way. I really like the outer packaging as well. Alter Ego actually has a really good formula, not just for a dupe brand, but like their formula is actually just really solid. So if you had your eye on the Huda Grunge and you don't want to pay Huda prices, I would lead you in this direction. I actually do have a code with Alter Ego as well. I always forget I have a code with them. It's itsjustSteph, and I believe that'll save you 10%. And never any pressure to use my codes, but if you do, I am forever grateful, you guys. I always get so excited. Not even for like the commission, but just like when you guys message me and say like you ordered the palette and you're so excited, and then when you share your looks with me, oh my gosh, it actually just makes my heart so incredibly happy. So what I was gonna say is never any pressure to use my code, just literally use a code of some kind to save some money. Prada sent over one of their eyeshadow palettes. I'm like, okay, this is kind of like a sweet treat, a sweet luxury treat. So this is what the outer packaging looks like. Absolutely gorgeous. I will say it's not like the heaviest brick ever. Yeah, it's not very heavy, but the outer packaging does look really luxe. Oh shoot. Okay, I dropped the 2 brushes. I'm not gonna lie, this dinky thing, I'm like, okay, don't need that. But I'm kind of excited to have a sponge tip applicator in my life. I've been wanting to purchase them just to try and use like foiled shadows with them again, but I haven't gotten around to purchasing. So this is what the palette looks like. I will say, I'm like I get it's like fun to do like a design, but it'll be interesting, like, can I even fit a brush in here? I mean, I can, but anyway, I think this shade right here looks really beautiful. It's like this, let's see. It's like a warm toned rose gold. I'll be really curious to see what the quality of this is like. I will say this is also not like my everyday reach for a color story, but I am grateful and I'm excited to try a Prada beauty product. All right, and then to end, I received 2 packages from Lawless this month, and if you guys don't know, Lawless is literally like one of my favorite brands, so it still feels so surreal anytime I get a Lawless package, and that is like when I truly feel my heart skip a beat. So the first package that they sent over were the 2 newest shade extensions to the Lawless Forget the Filler lip balm line, and then also they launched 2 new Pinch My Cheeks soft blur blushes, which I have been such a fan of this formula this year. I think it's such an easy formula to work with. I love this cream blush formula. So this is the shade Duchess, which I think is such a beautiful, beautiful shade for this time of year. I have already used this, as well as I have already used the shade Cheeky, which again is just such a fun, kind of like deep mauve-y sort of shade for this kind of time of year. I thought these were beautiful shade extensions and very happy to have, and I'm very happy to add those to my collection in a formula that I love. And then the lip balms. So we have the shade Sweetie, which is the one I've actually used the most. I will say so I've tried this in the Cherry Vanilla, and I wasn't like the biggest fan. I was like, okay, like I'll use this, but wasn't the biggest fan. It does have a bit of a minty sensation on the lips, and I don't feel like it's like the most hydrating lip balm, but the shade Sweetie I've actually been a huge fan of. I think it's beautiful on the lips. And then the other shade is the shade Candy Girl, which is a really fun pink. I've only worn this one once, and again, I've been a much bigger fan of these two, maybe because they have some pigmentation, whereas the Cherry Vanilla is almost like a really sheer red. I think this is, again, such a fun shade extension. I really enjoy this, and I will continue to use both of these. Very happy and very grateful to add these to my collection. And then I couldn't believe that they sent over a bunch of their like holiday releases. So we all know how excited I was to get the Lawless Merry Minis Lip Plumper Trio. In this, you get Rosy Outlook, which is their original. I love Rosy Outlook. It was the first shade I bought, purchased, and emptied out. Then we have Melrose and Bitten. I think these are the same shades that launched last year. Like, I feel like Melrose is sticking out in my mind, as well as Bitten, but I could be wrong. Lawless Forget the Filler lip gloss is my literal favorite lip gloss of all time since these launched in 2021. So to add any Lawless Forget the Fillers to my collection is a great thing. It's a great day. And then there are two Ultra Easy, Ultra Precise liquid liners. We have the shade Cocoa and Caviar. I do love a liquid liner, and so to get liquid liners and not have to, because they're not a very exciting product to purchase, so to get them in PR is quite nice actually. I will say I feel like I'm getting towards the end of my Fenty Fly Liner in Big Truffle, which is the brown, so I'm excited to add another brown to my collection. Then it's always great to have a black liquid liner as well. I've not tried the Lawless liquid liners, so we'll see what I think about the formula, but I was excited about that. And then I was very excited that they are launching a new eyeshadow palette. This is the Dreamy Dozen Volume 2. I did not purchase the Volume 1 because I've had a very hot and cold relationship with the Lawless Beauty eyeshadow formula. I think this looks like a really beautiful, just neutral everyday palette. I'm hoping that the formula translates onto the eyes, because for every day, I feel like this could be a really nice eyeshadow palette. Is it gonna be the most exciting palette in my life? No, but I feel like we have some really nice, again, neutral browns. There's a neutral rosy pink, and I do really like the like metallic shades from Lawless when they are done right. So I feel like this could be a nice just staple to have in the collection. I don't know, we'll see. I'll test it out, because again, I have not always been the biggest fan of Lawless palettes, but I was so excited to receive this. So thank you to all the brands that sent anything my way, and most importantly, thank you to you guys for continuing to support me and giving me these opportunities. I feel like I say this in every video, but I just truly, like, even to receive one PR package ever in my life, I feel so grateful. So to get to receive multiple packages a month, like, honestly, thank you guys for continuing to support me, to give me the opportunity. Before we get into the eyeshadow palettes that I purchased this month, I have two other beauty products that I want to share with you guys. So up first, I have the Briogeo Style and Treat Yuzu and Plum Oil Sleek Stick. So this is one of those like wax hair stick products that help with your baby hairs, and I actually, this type of product was not on my radar at all, but then a couple people that I work with were like, girl, you need to fix, part of it is probably because I go to sleep in a ponytail, wake up and don't brush my hair every day, don't comb it back into a nice ponytail, like it's like I show up with a bedhead ponytail sometimes. I know, you can think I'm gross. I don't care. Some mornings, like, I just do not have time to brush my hair, but I purchased this so that, you know, I'm curious about the sleek back style. I'm curious about it. I don't know if I'll like it at all, but I did purchase that to give it a try. And then I recently finished up my Peach and Lily oil cleanser, oil like cleansing balm. And this is not an oil cleansing balm, but I was at Target just kind of perusing, seeing if there was a cleansing balm that was a little less expensive that maybe I could give a try to. I'm sure I'll regret it, because every time I veer away from the Peach and Lily, I always come back to that one. But I picked up the Cereve Hydrating Foaming Oil Cleanser. It says this is for dry to very dry skin, and it cleanses without leaving skin feeling tight or disrupting the skin barrier. It has ceramides, squalane oil, and hyaluronic acid. So I was just curious about this. I would love to have, you know, a more affordable cleanser in my life. Hopefully I like it. I literally just bought that yesterday, so I honestly have no idea. I haven't used it yet. Moving on to the palette portion of today's video. I love eyeshadow palettes so much, so I always get excited to buy and try new eyeshadows. Up first, we have the Danessa Myricks Lightwork Volume 6, and I actually did a full dedicated review about this palette on my channel, so I will leave that linked below in case you're interested in checking that out. Such a beautiful, fun palette. All right, and then everybody and their mother on Friday the 13th was launching a palette, so to coordinate how I was gonna order the palettes at the right time, I mean, it was a hard day. I had to make sure I was there at launch time for each of these palettes because I didn't want anything to sell out. So up first, I have the Fantasy Cosmetica Enchanted Autumn Eyeshadow Palette. This is the palette that is in collaboration with Makeup Just for Fun, or Amanda. And I think this is such a beautiful color story for the fall, very grungy, and I'm very, very excited to dip into this. I have not yet reached into this. I have plans to reach into this one tomorrow. I think it's so beautiful. I have already swatched this one, and the swatches are just stunning. So I'm very excited about that. Then I have the Cosmic Beauty Undergrowth palette, which when I saw this teased, I was like, yes, I need this immediately. We love a green, and I love that this has like pops of neutrals as well. It's like a fun twist on neutrals. I do have a review video that went up. Yes, I'm like, this should go up after that. So I have a review video on this one as well, where I share with you 4 looks, compare it to the Natasha Denona Yucca palette, and this is stunning. I did struggle with a couple of the mattes in this eyeshadow palette. However, the special shades are literally some of the most drool-worthy special shades, especially considering like greens and just like more neutral special shades. It's so good. And then I obviously had to pick up the Poison Garden palette from Bella Beauté Bar. What a fun, grungy fall color story. Bella Beauté Bar is one of my favorite indie brands. Their special shades are so special as well. So I had to pick this up on launch date. And I meant to also pick up the Strange and Unusual palette when I purchased this because I wanted to save on shipping. I totally forgot. Shame on me. And I was like, oh, maybe it's a sign that I don't need it. But then after using the Poison Garden palette, I realized that I needed both the Strange and Unusual and the Recently De-Influenced because I just want every Bella Beauté bar that I can possibly get my hands on. So up first, we have Strange and Unusual, and I am so excited about this one because we know I love a fun, bright pop of neon. So the shade Recently Deceased, like I'm so excited to reach for that shade. I also typically veer away from reds, but there is something about the reds in here that looks so beautiful. We know I love blues, so these blues, these swatches of the special shades, oh my gosh, like I'm so excited about this one. And then I had no intention of purchasing this, but I had seen swatches, I think from Brittany Ray. She had recently picked this up, and her swatches always sell me. And I was like, okay, when I look into this palette straight on, I see like these 6 shades right here, as well as like these 2. And I'm like, these are just not shades that I would be reaching for. So like already half of the palette is just something that I'm not interested in. But there was something about the swatches. I was like, ooh, maybe I actually would like to play around with some of these fiery oranges and bright reds. And then for me, I'm like, and then I get these shades, which are like my comfort zone and my loves. So I had to pick this up, and I'm very excited to play around with this one as well. And those are the 6 eyeshadow palettes that I have brought into my collection. I'm actually very excited that 1, 2, 3 of them are no pan left behind already. So I've already used every single shade in the palette. Like I'm trying to work my way through them. I do have a backlog of eyeshadow palettes still that I purchased this year that I haven't finished testing that I need to get through. But I'm very happy that I didn't just like let my new products sit on the shelf and not use them. Oh, you guys, I almost forgot. In PR, I also received this moisturizer from Lion Pose. This is a Pep Talk Biopeptide Barrier Cream. I believe this is a new brand to Sephora. And I will say, since they've sent this to me, I've basically used this about every other night, and I really like this. It's just kind of like a basic moisturizer, but it feels really nice and hydrating on the skin. I've had no irritation. I feel like this would be, for some reason, I feel like this would be a really nice moisturizer for someone with sensitive skin. It's like a no frills, no scent, just like basic moisturizer, but it feels very moisturizing. So I wanted to shout that out. Moving on to all of the makeup products that I purchased this month. It wasn't my best month in terms of like, I could have done better about not buying things. I told you guys that I was only going to purchase 3 more lip liners from like the midpoint of the year to the end of the year, and I found a workaround about how to like cheat the system to get more lip liners. Should we start there? As I mentioned, my beauty bank was at -14, and even if I purchased like a holiday set, even though that's like a purchase of 1 item, I count it as the amount of makeup products that's actually coming in. So I purchased this pencil kit from Makeup Forever because I was really going back and forth on a couple of the lip liner shades from Makeup Forever. I was going back and forth between Wherever Walnut and Anywhere Caffeine, and there were those 2 lip liners were in this pencil kit. And then in this pencil kit, you also get a black, white, and a dark brown. And I was like, okay, I definitely could use all these. Like, I felt like this was a very functional kit, and I liked that the lip liners were not full size because, first of all, I am only recently getting into lip liners, and second of all, if a makeup product comes in a mini, typically that's probably just the better option for me in my larger makeup collection. So there is a kit, I believe it retails for $39. Like, I felt like it was a pretty good value. So even though I just purchased the 1 kit, there's 5 pencils in here, so this will count as -5 towards my beauty bank. I don't know if I've ever been more excited that a product came back. First Time Panner on Instagram sent me a message, and she was like, girly, you need to go check this set out at Ulta, because I talk every day about how I am so mad that I missed out on the Blood Orange Spritz Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve. And there was a kit for, I believe, $30 for 2 of these, and both are full size. Full size retails for $22, so I felt like that was a really good value, especially just knowing the other shade was, so this is, what is this called? Is it not on here? Oh, it's not on here. Just hydrating lip treatment. I believe this is just like the clear standard version. The Ole Henriksen is my new, basically like Kopari lip glossy, or it ranks up there with like Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. I honestly like this more than the Summer Fridays. I just feel like this is so nourishing on the lips. It feels so comfortable. So honestly, to add 2 of these, I was like, I can bring this to work. This can be a car gloss because it does actually nourish my lips while adding some glossiness. So I know that I purchased so many lip products this year. It's really honestly pathetic. But I know I've already purchased 2 of these, but I was very happy to add another 2, and so excited to have Blood Orange Spritz in my life. This is going to be my patio drinking gloss next year. All right, speaking of lip balms and speaking of Summer Fridays, I had to get the Hot Cocoa, the new Hot Cocoa Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm, mostly because last year my daughter was literally obsessed with the Swiss Miss Glossier Balm.com. That actually was from 2 years ago, but we finished it this year, and we were so sad when she finished it because that was her literal favorite. So when they were coming out with the Hot Cocoa and I told her, she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Plus she loves the aesthetic of Summer Fridays. So we did add this. It does definitely have a hot cocoa sort of scent, but it is really beautiful on the lips. And I do find that that one is nourishing. Like, I like the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. If I'm strictly looking for nourishment, I will likely go for the Ole Henriksen. Whereas Summer Fridays, I just like their scents and their shades. And they do add a glossiness to the lips, but I don't find them to be as nourishing as the Ole Henriksen. This is a very old product. I was feeling like such FOMO over this. I think the packaging is really what I was wanting to add to my life and my collection, but we know I love the NARS face palettes, and so I just felt inclined to go on Mercari and order the old NARS Exposed Cheek Palette. I have already been using this quite a bit, and I'm actually so happy that I added this to my collection. I know just about every NARS face palette really does look the same, and I will say, like, these shades up here really are pretty repetitive, and honestly probably this shade too, but this is like one of my favorite shades to reach for in a NARS palette, like a bright orangey coral. But these two add something kind of unique to my collection, and I feel like for this time of year, for more of these like berry mauves, I think is so fun. So I am actually so happy that I was able to pick this up. I didn't purchase a ton during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, but two products that I did pick up. I picked up the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I had used this in the past, gone through a full size, and remember not like thinking it was the end all be all. My favorite is the NARS Smudge Proof, but I wanted to give this another try. And I will say I've been using this a bit lately, and I think I still prefer the NARS Smudge Proof personally, but I don't like hate this. Like I will definitely use it up, and it'll take forever because these literally take forever to go through. And then I also picked up the MAC Fix Plus Stay Over. I remember Hope Mess Tom talking about, I think it was this spray. I remember they were talking about how they brought it to the Creators and Friends event in Vegas this past December, and they were saying like they weren't expecting to be out till 4 a.m. They used this MAC Fix Plus, and even when they got back at 4 a.m. their makeup was still intact. And I was like, oh, I need something that's going to be a long-lasting fixing spray. So I remembered that, and I was like, okay, next time I need like a long-lasting spray, that's the one I'm gonna get. And then it was on sale during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, so I got it for half off. I'm pretty sure it was this one. If it wasn't, I'm gonna be so sad. And then just two more makeup products. I did have to replace my NYX glitter primer. Mine is almost out, so I just wanted to get another one of these before I like actually was out. This is my favorite glitter glue. It's so affordable, and I've gone through, that'll be like my fourth tube of that product. I literally use it every day. And then the final product that I picked up, I feel like you're either gonna love me or hate me for this, but I did pick up the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked Evil Eye palette. So last year I picked up the Snake palette, and I will say the only other holiday palette I picked up in the past is my Ghost Quad, which I absolutely love. So I picked up the Snake palette last year. I'm gonna set this aside because I have show and tell to show you. I picked up the Snake palette last year because I thought the shades were the most beautiful, but these shades just did not work for me and my skin tone. So I was very happy that the Evil Eye, which I have an evil eye tattoo. I have the tattoo of the evil eye. Clearly I like the evil eye. I was like, okay, before I even saw the shades inside, I was like, I feel like I must have the evil eye. Isn't it fitting that I got the evil eye tattoo while I was married, and then suddenly I needed to not be married anymore? Because the evil eye is supposed to ward off all negative energy, negativity. Anyway, now I have a makeup palette too that's gonna ward off the negative spirits for me. The negative makeup monsters that are there to ruin my makeup. We've got this. Where am I going with this? Oh, but then when I saw the shades on the inside, I was like, oh, like I feel like these shades will work for my skin tone. I feel like these are so beautiful. Like I liked the bright pop, especially of this pink. But then when I got this and I swatched, okay, when I swatched this shade right here, I was like, is this gonna be my new Becca Rose Quartz? Is this gonna be my new Pink Glow from Bobbi Brown? Look at this right here. I don't know if I've ever seen a more beautiful pink tone highlight. It is like a little bit more warm tone. It's almost like a peachy pink. Oh, I'm so excited for that shade. And then on top of that, I'm also just really excited for it. Like this is a very, very subtle highlight, but still really beautiful. You could also use this as like a finishing powder. I have a finishing powder right here. And then the blushes, like I know I've been more into like a nude neutral blush, but next summer for like a fun pop of like a pink, like a bright pink, I think that's so beautiful. And then we have the Oasis. I think this is the Oasis. I swear a bird just, anyway, why am I the most distracted person ever? There's that one swatched right there. This one is like sheared out, just a little bit lighter. I think that is so gorgeous. I am so excited about this palette. So if you didn't have a Post-it note next to you and you weren't tallying the number of makeup products I purchased, let's add them up together. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We added 12. Okay, that would bring us down to negative 26. A lot more that I've brought in than I've emptied out. I will say I have not been great about makeup empties this year. As I mentioned in previous updates, I don't think I'm gonna hit 100 makeup empties this year, and I need to come to terms with that. It's okay, girly. But I do have a couple makeup empties to share with you, so let me go grab those really quick. I only have 5, so our beauty bank is gonna still be at -19 after the empties, but let's get into them. I have a couple of exciting ones. I have my Givenchy Prism Libre powder. I actually don't know if this is an exciting empty because they've since reformulated, and this is my favorite pressed powder, and I'm like, what if I don't like the reformulation, which it seems like a lot of people aren't loving it, so I'm actually quite sad about that. I do have my Rare Beauty mascara, which I'm finally retiring. This has been open for almost 6 months at this point in time, and usually I like to cut it at like the 4-month mark, but I've loved this mascara so much. I definitely, like, if I'm not getting the effect that I want from my next mascara combination, I will repurchase this. I still want to try the Lawless one as well, and then we know I love the Ilia Limitless mascara, but this is such a beautiful mascara for volumizing the lashes. I usually will go in with the e.l.f. like roller lash, and then I will use this for volume, and I just love this. I was really struggling with mascara transfer until I purchased this, and I'm like, okay, if I'm getting transfer with the next mascaras that I'm trying, I am going back to this because I loved this one. Okay, my Glossier Boy Arch. I was using this every day, but I will say, I don't know if this one was faulty. They did send this one over to me. It kept breaking on me, and now I'm to the point where I literally can't roll it up and there's nothing left. Like, I was using this, but I went through this one so quickly. Part of it because it kept breaking, but also I just feel like that one maybe doesn't have a ton of product. That's an empty. I also finished my NYX Born to Glow concealer, which I'm so excited about because I just wasn't loving this concealer, and now every concealer that I have in my collection, I truly feel like I love. I have my LYS, I have my Tower 28, and I have my Charlotte Tilbury. I actually today have on the Bare Minerals concealer that they sent over to me. I was giving it another try, and I was not hating it as much today as I feel like I did in the past. Like, I feel like I actually might like that concealer. So I'm excited to move this one out. It was my oldest concealer in my collection as well. Excited to have another concealer empty before the end of the year. And then we've got a Lawless Forget the Filler empty. As I mentioned, it's my favorite gloss. I did finish the Cherry Vanilla scent. I actually have still another size like this in Cherry Vanilla, and I have the Jumbo Cherry Vanilla. So we still have a lot of Cherry Vanilla. This gives old school cherry chapstick vibe. Like, the scent is the exact same, but the glossiness that this adds to the lips, it is the typical Lawless Forget the Filler formula, which I love. I definitely have a few shades left to pick up during this most recent Sephora VIB sale. I cannot wait to pick up Daisy Girl, that sparkly pink, but I'm rambling now. Cherry Vanilla is gone. Those are the 5 makeup empties that I have. I will have everything totaled in the description box down below. Everything that I purchased this year, everything that I have used up. To date this year, I have finished up 49. I have 49 makeup empties. So haven't even cracked 50. It's so weird for me, but it's okay. And then year to date, I have purchased, this is where I get confused because when I look at my spreadsheet, it says 71. But then if you do 71 minus 49, I believe that's 21. So I don't know how my beauty bank is -19. Like, I'm a little confused, but anyway, it's just all in good fun. I don't have any strict rules this year, like I can only increase by 20 products. I'm literally just using the beauty budget, like beauty bank, as a tracking because that's what I've done in years past. I do think I will go away from that next year and use my makeup rehab just to kind of share what's coming in versus what's going out. But that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.